I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello there, Brian Santos here, and I hope you're doing well in quarantine. This is Quarantine with the Stars, our daily show here on AfterBuzz TV, where we bring you interviews with some of Hollywood's best and brightest stars from right here in our home. Today, I am joined by Hallmark's leading lady and actress, philanthropist, and singer-songwriter, Jen Lilley. Jen, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's so nice to see a face on the outside world.
Definitely. I love doing these. I love talking to you, talking to everybody, and just seeing how everyone is doing. So in this interview, we're going to be talking about what you're doing during quarantine, how you're keeping busy, your project, your work with Hallmark, and so much more.
Great.
Awesome. Let's jump right in. So let's talk about that first. So how are you doing and how are you staying sane during quarantine?
I'm doing really well. I'm staying sane in the sense that I am trying really hard to look at this as if it's a European vacation, like in Europe, they take like several months off, and it's for their mental health. And while it's really stressful, obviously, um, there's not much we can do to stop it. So I'm just trying to imagine that it's a European vacation and use the time wisely. So over here, I do wear a lot of hats. I'm mom, so taking care of my kiddos. And then I am also in the process of flipping a house. So that's been interesting trying to do that, like with social distancing and like you can only let
Hmm.
certain people, in the house at the same time and all of that. I'm also getting ready to launch my album finally, which I know we're going to talk about. Super excited about that. So I'm just working through all the kinks, stress testing the platform. I've designed some merch, which is my favorite part, in order to raise money for kids in foster care and vulnerable children. So I still have a lot on my to-do list. And so I've kind of been liking the time off a little bit.
I love that. Well, let's jump into that. You mentioned your projects for vulnerable children. I know you do work with now you're coming up on Project Orphans. You really, really care about foster care initiatives, which is amazing. I know you have two adorable sons you talked about. So how did you get involved with Project Orphans and your work with foster care?
Gosh. Okay. So I got involved with foster care. Like the nutshell version is my parents were kind of a safe house growing up. They were not official foster parents, but I was already familiar with the idea of having someone in your house, who was outside of your family. So that planted and watered a seed in me. And then I became a child advocate in 2011 through an amazing organization called Child Help. And I do urge anyone watching, when you get involved with charities, you really need to grow them. Charitynavigator.org is a fantastic website. My website, jenlilley.com. I have charities that I endorse. I only endorse charities that give over 87 cents directly to the cause versus their salaries lining their pockets, that really are who they say they are. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of shell companies that are saying that they're charities, but they're actually part of the problem. So I really vet the charities that I represent. I became a child advocate for Child Help, which is the largest and longest running nonprofit in the United States for anti-child abuse efforts and prevention. And then I mentored through a program that they have called Special Friends, which is kind of like Big Brothers Big Sisters, another great program. And fell in love with one of my mentors. My husband fell in love with her too. She was facing reunification, which for anyone who's unfamiliar with the goal of foster care is to reunify the child with their birth family. That's the first line of defense. That's what you want to do. Sometimes that's not always healthy and that's not what's best for the kid. And so you need to be willing to adopt when possible. Her reunifying with mom, really bad idea. So we decided to get licensed in order to try to foster her and adopt her. Sadly, we did not get her, but her story ended up great. She's with grandma now, in touch with her. But we got our son, Caden. And then as is the cycle of foster care, his birth mom got pregnant again. And so we took in his baby brother, who we have been fostering for almost 2 years and are in the process of adopting. Adoption takes a long time. Yeah, really exciting. And then how I got involved in Project Orphans is foster care is super lonely. I started a whole podcast called Fostering Hope in order to give foster parents or anybody that's curious about foster care or that's already in the trenches, information for people who are not in foster care to inform them that these are not kids who are in the juvenile delinquent system. They're really just victims of child abuse and neglect. They found themselves in a broken system through no fault of their own, and they just need love and stability. So it's to inform people who don't know, and then it's to equip and inspire people who are already in the trenches to keep going. So I was at a point in my life back in 2018, right before we took in baby Jay, Caden's brother. And I just was like, I had foster care burnout. I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. You know, I became an actress and a singer in order to have a platform for change. And oh my gosh, I feel like I'm gonna cry. I'm not really into like promoting myself, and that's something that we have to do, you know, as actors and as singers. And I just was so sick of social media and just like having everything be a billboard, like me. That's not who I am. And so I was like, I can't keep going like this. I don't want to act. I don't want to like promote myself. I hate all of this. And then I took a step back. I took a breath. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start viewing Instagram as a community. And if I can shift my perspective, then I can keep going. And I was searching this hashtag foster love. And I came across, after like a half hour of scrolling, I hadn't clicked on anybody's profile. And for some reason, it wasn't even that compelling of a photo. I clicked on a photo by Brittany Ray Stokes, who is the founder of Project Orphans. And she's this incredible mom. And then right there in her bio, it said, founder of Project Orphans. And I was like, I love orphans. Like, this is something I care about. So I clicked down her webpage, went down the rabbit hole, did all the tax returns and vetted their charity, found out they're incredible. And then I did a crazy thing. I messaged Brittany, and I was going to be in Oklahoma the next month filming a movie. And I was like, hey, this is crazy, but would you want to have coffee? Like, I know I'm a stranger and I know that's like scary and weird. But I'm going to be in Oklahoma the next month, and you live in Tulsa. The only day she was available was the only day that I had off of filming. So we met, we had breakfast, we cried, we laughed, and we realized that we both shared a passion to create a solution to the orphan and foster crisis here in the United States. And what I believe that is, just in a nutshell, is to create a neighborhood model. So I can't foster every child. If I did, at some point, your children are going to feel neglected. Like, you can only balance so much before, you know, like, shout out to the Duggars. I don't know how they do it with their 17 kids, but like, you know, I can't. So there's so many more children than 17. So I realized that if you build a neighborhood model where each of the homes in the neighborhood are licensed and loving, stable foster homes who are willing to adopt when necessary, you're going to make a huge, profound change. So I want to create a subdivision that's like that. And so we're partnering with Project Orphans to create Project Orphans USA, to create a community-based model so all the kids won't have a stigma with other kids they're playing with. They don't have to explain like why their walls are up. They have a sense of community. Those foster parents have support around them. They have licensed foster parents around them who are first aid certified, water safety certified, all the things, so that they can go on date night and not have parent burnout.
Sure.
Awesome. And so what I'm doing is I am launching May 1st in conjunction with Foster Care Awareness Month. I've been working on this for months, and it's kind of great because COVID-19 actually is working to my benefit for this and for the kiddos. So we're all home. A lot of us are bored. I feel like maybe you've discovered a hidden talent that you have. And so I'm doing something that's called #VoicesThatGive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's birthed out of my dream to build Project Orphans USA through music that gives. So here's what it is. It's like America's Got Talent or X Factor, but online style. So I believe every person was created on purpose, with a purpose, gifted with unique talents. And if you don't think you have a talent, you know, maybe you're one of those crazy people that can like drink water in 2 seconds or less, you know, like I don't care what your talent is. Whatever your talent is, people are going to upload a video of them doing that. It is public voting. Whoever wins with the highest amount of public votes is going to get $10,000 cash, which we could all use right now since we've lost our jobs. They're going to get national press coverage and all these awesome other prizes. Categories to enter: musician, actor, dancer, unique or hidden talent, and Hallmark fan. All the categories, the top winner from each category will win cool prizes. It's just the one grand prize winner of $10,000. It's free to join. It's free. You get one free vote from all your followers. If they want to support further and donate to Project Orphans USA, then what they do is they buy voting bundles. So $10, you get my album. You automatically win my album. You support your contestant. $25, you get an autographed album. $100. You get my album, autographed album, and you also get a T-shirt. Helping children. So launches May 1st. That's all of it in a nutshell. I'm super excited.
I am super excited for that too. I love how you covered everything. Actually, that's so funny. I was going to ask all those questions and you touched them all. So I love it.
Yeah.
All right. You mentioned Hallmark. I do want to ask a question about your work with Hallmark. So I know you've done a lot with them.
Yeah.
You did some Christmas stuff, and we love Christmas here at AfterBuzz TV. We're doing some stuff like Quarantine Christmas. I know you did Mingle all the way with Brent Doherty, which is amazing. So do you have any fun stories from working with him and all the amazing time you had on set?
Oh gosh, we had so much fun. I mean, Hallmark movies are really fun to work on in general, but we laughed so hard. The scene, I produced the movie, so it was really fun.
Nice.
And there was a scene, Molly, my character, she's like trying to prove him wrong, and she's really sassy, and she's like making a fool of herself at this party, and I had to eat this whole like puff, and I didn't have to. It wasn't scripted, but I thought it would be really funny if I stuck this entire cream puff in my mouth, and then they're like, yeah, I can do this. Like, I've got you. We were like, we couldn't make eye contact. We were just like, like everybody was laughing. Like as soon as I called cut, you could just hear people like wailing. So that was really fun.
I love that. That's amazing. And you also did work with Days of Our Lives. You had an amazing, incredible stint on Days of Our Lives. Would you say it's different? How would you say it's different working in soaps as opposed to like primetime television?
Gosh, soaps. Oh my God. If you can do soaps, you can do anything. Oh my gosh. So a standard Hallmark movie or a television movie is about anywhere from 90 pages to like 105 pages. That's the target. Soap operas shoot, we have an episode every single day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We would shoot anywhere from 150 to 220 pages a day. So you're shooting like Hallmark movies a day. And I mean, my highest dialogue I ever had to remember was 87 pages in one night. And that was like coming off of 56 pages the night before and like 68 the night before that. But like my standard, and I think anybody's standard who works in soaps is like 35, 40 pages of dialogue a night that you're memorizing. So it's nuts. It's crazy. The stakes are always high, but it's really fun. And, they've been around for over 50 years. So
yes,
they're similar in that they're both kind of a family community. So I loved it.
I love that. Now, when you're talking about your project, your work, you mentioned also your music, which I'm super excited about. So I know you're the singer and songwriter as well. You're working on your album. So tell me all about that. Like, when is it coming out? What's it like?
Okay. So I actually started working on this album back in 2016. It's been done for 2 years. And what's great about it, there's so many things that are great about it. I have Adrian Gervitz produced. He is a world-class producer. He has so much panache. For anyone my age, he created the Bodyguard soundtrack and so many others. I mean, like Andrew Day, Rise to the Fall, Album of the Year, Artist of the Year. Back in 2016, he created that. He's amazing. He brought on Lauren Christie, who is won BMI Writer of the Year. Diane Warren is one of my writers. So it's got an incredible team of hit writers on it. That was so amazing to just glean wisdom and songwriting from them. Just being in the room, when they're writing songs, it was like, this is amazing. We have world-class musicians, same as musicians as Adele. Like, are you kidding me? Rosie Danvers strings. So it's a 60s style album. It's got that 60s vibe, but it's all original music, but it's like happy music, right? And it's kind of like you hear it and it kind of just takes you down memory lane. It's very empowering, uplifting music and timeless. So I didn't have to worry about when I released it. I released my first single, King of Hearts, October 2018. I had planned on releasing my album following that. I ended up being Artist of the Month in big time radio in 44 countries around the world. Like, it was incredible. And then I found out that I was pregnant with my daughter, Julie, which was great, but like I'm not Beyonce. I can't do a concert pregnant. Like, I don't know how Bey did it, like she's amazing, but that's not me. And so the great thing about it being a classic album is I could put it off. And I put it off. There's a quote from Mother Teresa that's like, if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. So I felt like, how can I save other children and vulnerable children and really do what I say I'm going to do if I'm not even loving my own children well? So had her, got things together. Here we are launching it. I'm going to launch it in conjunction with Voices That Give talent competition. So that's how people can get it, is by donating the $10, and then I'll release it digitally later. So
I love that. That's amazing. And like you said, you worked so hard on it, and now you're able to mix your two passions of music and, helping these people together. So I am so happy to check it out. And I'm definitely going to be donating to Voices of Hope. So I love that. You mentioned a lot of the people you work with, which is amazing as well. But who are some of your personal musical inspirations?
oh my gosh. Well, I originally fell in love with music because I love Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Ella Fitzgerald. Like, their voices just can like melt your face off, they're just so good. And then I grew up listening to 60s music with my dad, which is really where the inspiration came from, that, which is like the Temptations, the Ronettes, the Supremes, Aretha Franklin,
Legends.
Springfield. So,
I love that. All right, Jen, before we go, is there anything else you would like to promote, shout out before we go?
No, you've been so amazing. Anyone can join my contest for free. It's a chance to win $10,000 and help kids. And like I said, everyone can join. Everyone has something to give. Everyone has a talent. So do it. It's going to be on jenlilleymusic.com. And we're going to raise a lot of money for kids.
I am so excited for that. Jen, where can I find you on social media?
The main thing is just go to my Instagram. It's Jen, JEN_LILLEY. That's Lilley. And then, I have like the linked tree. So then that'll point them to all the other places. So we'll just keep it simple.
Perfect. I love that. Well, it's been amazing, like you said, Jen, to talk to you. I'm so happy to check out all the things you have going on. I'm Brian Santos. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the Brian Santos. This has been Quarantine with the Stars. It's been such a pleasure having you, Jen. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will see you all next time.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got